Hello everybody, Siraz here, and today we are going to be watching a TVP, and I'm excited for this game. It is going to be JK, it's FXO QXC these days, but QXC versus DuckloadRa, and both these players, basically, I think I would call them superstars of StarCraft 2. Both of them are very, very well known. Both have really unique styles and are just quite awesome players to watch. So I'm excited for this game. And a little bit about these guys, if you guys do not or have not heard about them. QXC is a member of FXO. He recently transferred there or joined the team. He was on Root Gaming before that, and FXO I think just offered him a little bit better deal, decided to support him a little bit better, and so he went over to that. So he's now a member of FXO along with like Sheth and Optic Zero and that Zerg player that is Australian that I am blanking on. He went to Korea. Wow, I am totally blanked on that, but that is alright. It will come to me, but he is on a team with another really good Zerg player. I'm sure you guys, somebody will be in chat, on YouTube being like, wow, what's blah blah blah, how could you not remember that? But for the life of me, I cannot remember his name. But I'm sure somebody out there does know who he is, so definitely, let everybody know. Or I'm pretty sure by the end of this cast I will remember. But anyways, a little bit about DuckloadRa. DuckloadRa, Ukrainian Protoss player, pretty old, actually, believe it or not. He's like 30 or something. Everybody calls him the Grandpa Toss, but he is absolutely excellent. He always puts out just great and entertaining games, and so I am excited to see him play. Interesting note, he does have a personal sponsorship from Duckload, which I think is like a file hosting company. I could be kind of wrong on that, but I think it's something like that. So that's why he is not on a team, if anyone ever wondered that. Looks like we're going to see a 2 racks opening from QXC here, and coming up from DuckloadRa, nothing too crazy yet. QXC getting a nice bit of scouting information, going to see that there's no sort of fast expand or any sort of shenanigans going on, no proxy, anything like that. And back in his base, we do have a tech lab going up. Interesting timing here. He did it after 2 Marines. A lot of times you see it going up a little bit sooner. And DuckloadRa opting to get out an early Zealot. Just a safe build here, coming out from the Grandpa Toss. Double tech labs. So I think what we're going to see here is some sort of timing, maybe with Stim, or Stim and Marauders, or Stim and like combat shields. So something like that. That's the only reason you would get that, or 2 barracks out with tech labs. What? So QXC actually opting for 2 Reapers. This is interesting. We'll have to see what he does do with this. This is not a very standard opening, but he might be hoping to get some scout information and possibly harass. Like what he could do is threaten a Reaper up here, force DuckloadRa to bring his forces up and then kind of sneak a Reaper in the back or something like that. We'll have to see what he does with that. And DuckloadRa just playing a standard 3-gate robo. Incredibly safe Protoss build. Not going to take any chances here. One thing to note is that Robo seems like it is pretty early. So I think if QXC was choosing to do some sort of gateway pressure, getting that early Robo could slow down the number of units from DuckloadRa, but QXC is not doing that exactly. He's opting for early Reapers, which is very, very interesting to me. And looks like, he might be... I'm not sure what he's going to do with this. This is so interesting to see that he did get these 2 early Reapers. I feel like he must have some sort of plan, so I'm waiting to see what happens with him. Looks like he's going to get some scouting information first, going to see what's going on. There we go. Does see DuckloadRa does not have that much, but QXC just returning to base. Almost wonder if he has these Reapers in his army just to help deal with any sort of early Zealots and Sentries. Reaper is really good against both those, surprisingly. Especially if you have some bio to tank for you. So the Reapers do tons of damage. They do 9 times 2, which is 18. So each, they go, right? So that's 2 attacks. So they deal basically 18 damage. little bit less to Zealots because I think Zealots have 1 armor, yeah. And I don't know, I just find this really interesting. I'm really kind of curious why he got those Reapers. Poor Marine here, going to get taken out relatively quickly. Not going to live long, that Marine. Oh, wow, looks like he is going to make a run for it. Will he get away? No. Splat, there goes the Marine. And feigning a little aggression there. Maybe get QXC a little worried, but doesn't seem like he is at all. And now he is going to get scouting information. QXC does have an expansion up, but has opted not to move out yet. How is he looking at saturation? Getting pretty close to max saturation. 30 or 24. Okay, so it's 24 workers is pretty much max for these mineral patches, and QXC is getting close. But we do have an attack coming up right here. Another Marine getting picked off. A little bit of Stalker shield damage, nothing too bad. You can take a look here. Yeah, I've been trying this new thing. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to just use Alt to see the unit health now. So like in the past I used to just have these bars on all the time, but I think if I can get used to it, just using Alt whenever it's needed like this will be really useful. I think it just makes everything prettier, not having these bars over all the units' heads. Back in the base of Whiterot, his expansion is up, starting to get it saturated. Does have that Twilight Council ult, and looks like he's not going for any sort of Colossus. He does have a Warp Prism coming though, and these Reapers popping in here. Looks like they got a couple of kills, 2 kills on one kill on the other. Looks like they're going to be able to get maybe, oh, not really, oh, 1 more probe. Is he going to get another one? No, looks like he lost 4 probes there. And those Reapers totally paid for themselves. Plus, they got a little bit of scout information. I think he did see that Twilight, or that Templar archives. Take a look here. QXC vision. Yeah, he did see that warping in. Who knows if he did click on it, but if he did, he will have a good amount of information about what Whiterot's going. And where is that Warp Prism? Warp Prism getting ready to drop some Zealots in the back, going to trying to do some harass. Let's see if this is effective. Just going to chill it here for now. Not quite ready. Looks like he's starting to move into position. Whiterot, I don't know. Wow, this could work out really well for him. QXC's army is moving out at the moment and is going to be in a bad position. Whiterot had that observer there, so he knows exactly where his army is, and I think this drop is going to be really effective. QXC going to attack, not going to have anything to deal with these Zealots here, and they're going to stop mining for the time being, and looks like QXC is going to retreat. This is buying valuable time, though. Psionic Storm not quite being done researched here, and that's what he wants to deal with this sort of bio army. Interestingly enough, he opts to take out that missile turret, and then just picks up the 2 Zealots and runs away into this little like null space up here. Saves that drop for another day. Now QXC is probably a little bit worried. Does not want to move out again, so we might. I'd be very surprised if we saw an attack now. Is what I would say. And looks like he's gearing up to take another base. Where will he go? Hasn't cleared any of the rocks out yet. Warp Prism coming back in. 2 Zealots going down relatively quickly, and the Warp Prism does manage to live. These things are basically glass well, they're not even glass cans, they're just made out of glass. They only have 140 HP total. Very low. If you look at like the HP of a medvac, 150. Plus they have that armor for their entire thing. Warp Prisms have no armor. So it makes a big difference. And Overlords, I think, are 200. So definitely the weakest of all the shuttles or dropships or whatever you want to call them. This guy going to come over here, probably going to warp in a few units. Yep, there we go. And then going to load them up. Needs to wait on energy a little bit. Oh, interesting, only warping in 1. Kind of curious to see what Whiterot will do with this. In the meantime, he is continuing to get upgrades. Is he at, okay, so level 1 attack and armor, so double forge. That's going to be very nice. Plus Zealot charge, opting to go with that over Blink. Zealot's very strong. We do have a drop here from QXC. Isn't going to do too much. Probably will take out this cannon, and I'd like to see QXC actually just pick up and run away. Could have maybe saved a little bit more, but not bad. Not losing too much there. Whiterot, a couple idle probes sitting around. QXC still has not really moved out to take his 3rd yet. hasn't. He did clear these gold rocks though, so it looks like that is where he's gonna go. And Warp Prism actually seen. Oh man, that was so slick. I don't know if you guys saw that. He unloaded his High Templar and then feedback to the medvac. So now these two Marauders have to trek it all the way home on foot, and that'll put an end to the harass, at least for the moment. In the meantime, we do see White-Ra still kind of focusing on this sort of ground army, not bringing his Templars with him though. Just very, very Zealot heavy with Zealot charge on the way. I think it'd be a mistake if he engaged now, probably just kind of poking, seeing what he can find. And he does see that this gold is up, so White-Ra going to have to do something here relatively soon. He has a couple options. He can either choose to expand or try and contest this gold. But with a planetary fortress on the way, I think he is going to opt for expansion. Yeah, it looks like a probe is heading down to this base to take a third for White-Ra, and looks like he is getting ready to do a little bit of harass. QXC, though, already in position, does not want to allow his gold mineral line to be stormed, and this is just awesome placement by QXC. I mean, that's just so good. And in the meantime, he is getting some ghosts. That's what he needs to help deal with these High Templar, as well as having great sensor towers. So look at these sensor tower arcs, seeing everything that's going on. This army moving in, going to try and take out the stuff on the low ground, do a little bit of damage, trying to get a storm off on those workers, but looks like it is not the case. And wow, that thing with 3 High Templars, Warp Prism with 3 High Templars almost did go down, but he did manage to save that in time. QXC being forced to stop mine at the gold, but did not lose that much. I think if we look at unit loss tab, relatively equal here, so no advantage for either player at this point. Looks like White-Ra going to try and break through these rocks, possibly, seeing if he can get a good position to do some damage. Does not want to fight that planetary fortress. QXC sees this happening though, and gets his units up in a position to stop those Zealots from breaking down the rocks. Looks like we are going to... Oh! Great feedbacks on the 2 ghosts. That's really going to slow down QXC's ability to get any EMP out on those ghosts. So that was very clutch. And now I think we are going to see some storms. Yes, we do. Killing a lot of workers there. Well, maybe not too many. Maybe looks like 7, 8 workers there. And that's going to slow QXC down a little bit, but not too much. He did pull a lot of those workers in time, and I think he's just going to be able to resupply those very quickly. In the meantime, White-Ra's third is up, and QXC getting ready for a drop. We'll have to see where he does put this. White-Ra, in the same manner, is ready for any sort of harassment behind his third base. And this is just awesome to see these players, you know, be prepared so well for this sort of attack. But QXC just going to unload on the low ground, actually, and does get a snipe on a High Templar, but he does get off his storm, and QXC probably just going to lift off, run away here. And, whoa, oh no, he did lose that medvac. That was pretty big there, as that one was maybe half full, and then that drop got cleaned up really quickly, so that really did not go how QXC wanted, but looks like he's going to jockey for position in the middle of the map now, going to move in while White-Ra's army is possibly out of position, but it does get back in time, sees that storm, and QXC does opt to run away. Might do a little bit of stim kiting. Can work kind of well on Zealots. Apparently, oh, nice feedbacks. Stopping those ghosts quite out of position. Gets an EMP on all those Zealots. QXC in a little bit of hurt though, but he can just come back to his planetary fortress, and that should be able to buy him enough time to survive. Looks like he is going to get ready to take his fourth. Probably going to be at this base right here. And yes, definitely after you see him starting to break the rocks. White-Ra, though, his army is getting very, very scary. High Templar plus Colossus is the nightmare of all Terran players. And this is going to be hard for QXC to defend this. White-Ra's army is larger. QXC needs to make something happen relatively soon. He's doing okay on upgrades. White-Ra's doing better, though. He has some Vikings out, but not really enough to deal with these Colossus. And he has mainly Marauders, which is what he needs. I mean, he does have some Marines in there, but it is a lot of Marauders. That's good against the Storm. But it's still just not looking good. His army value is lower. And looks like he is going to move out here, trying to get a Observer there. But White-Ra actually, Ninja Observer, manages to get it away. Oh, man. Almost dying there. And both players just kind of jockeying around. These sensor towers have basically put an end to any sort of harassment from White-Ra. And QXC has not had much success with the harassment either, due to just great positioning of units and cannons around DuckloadRa's base. So it's kind of a waiting game at this point. Both players maxed. Let's take a look at the army tab here. DuckloadRa's army is worth a little bit more, especially in the gas department. So it's probably just a little bit stronger. He does have that dreaded High Templar Colossus. The question is, will QXC be able to defend if he gets some nice EMPs? Great spread. Look at that. Storms, though, still doing a ton of damage. Not before killing a lot of units. But this is not looking too good for QXC. He needs to reinforce very quickly. But the army of DuckloadRa did get whittled down quite a bit. And looking at the supply, QXC only slightly behind, trying to pick off a few units there. Not too much anti-air, so this is good for these Vikings. They might be able to do a little bit of damage to this Colossus, but QXC is opting to back up for now. Try and remax and see what they can do. Both players, 4th base is pretty much up. Looks like we did have some sort of attack going on over here. I did not see what happened there. But both players' base pretty much up. 4th base pretty much up. Transferring workers there for the DuckloadRa, the Grandpa Toss, and there's tons of cannons here just fortifying his position. Looks like this game is going to go on a lot later, or for a lot longer. What do we have for upgrades for QXC? 2-1. So that's looking good. What do we have for DuckloadRa? He's got to be close to 3-3. Yes, he is. So this is such a scary army. QXC, in the meantime, lots of medvacs, needs to get out maybe a few more Vikings, and DuckloadRa opting to take another base. Same with QXC. The map is now divided, and it's going to come down to whichever player has probably the better unit control, I mean, in the upcoming battle. Especially if QXC can manage to get a little bit better upgrades. Is getting ship attack. That's very good for his Vikings. And a couple units getting picked off here. DuckloadRa does not want to let QXC see that he does have another base there. I think QXC might have scanned it, though. No, he does not. He probably has a inkling, though. And some stalkers coming in here, denying that expansion, at least for now. But should be cleaned up relatively quickly. QXC continuing to jockey for position. Neither player wants to commit because they know, like, if DuckloadRa attacked here, QXC would have much better positioning, and DuckloadRa could lose his entire army. And in the meantime, QXC does not want to attack because he is probably a little bit behind, as well as same reasoning, right? So DuckloadRa could have just a way better positioning if QXC chose to attack. Stalker coming down here doing a little bit of harass. QXC needs to clean that up. Sending a lot of units this time, saying, I've had enough of you. GTFO my house. Stim taking out that Stalker. And this force should be able to clean up these Stalkers down here as well. Stalker's just blinking away though. Very safe. But looks like DuckloadRa's army is going to come over here. QXC getting his army's position. This is not the best. Nice EMP though, getting removing a lot of shields there. Ghost is going to go down. And looks like once again, DuckloadRa might be able to deny this. QXC needs to bring some units over. Big engagement going on. Both players jogging for position. Looks like it is going to go for it. Look at those EMPs. Those were huge. Only one storm going off so far. That could be exactly what QXC needs, but looks like his army is dwindling. This is not looking too hot for QXC at all. His army is gone. Will he be able to reinforce in time to defend against this? I do not know, but it looks like DuckloadRa does not want to risk it. Is just going to back up. Knows he has denied this 5th base of QXC, so he is in the advantageous position, as he does have a larger army, better economy. I mean, everything is going well for DuckloadRa now, and he just does not want to throw away his lead. Looks like QXC, though, going to try and snipe this, but going to be very, very sad. Oh, and catching a lot of High Templar in an EMP, also out of position. This is actually really good for QXC. All the Colossus and High Templar are down, and wow, this is looking really, really good for QXC. All the scary units are dead. He can throw away units like that, but he is going to land his Vikings. Vikings surprisingly good on the ground, and we are going to see another engagement going on here. One more storm getting off, and a nice blink. QXC might be able to hold this. It's going to be really close. Oh, he needs to go back to that planetary fortress. Needs the help of that twin Iblis cannon, or Ibis cannon, or whatever. Needs to pull back just a little bit more. There we go. That guy is shooting. And once again, DuckloadRa forced to retreat. QXC is going to clean this up. And wow, that was so good for QXC. Mainly just because he got rid of the scary units, man. Oh, but looks like the scary units are coming back. A couple Colossus plus a High Templar in the base of DuckloadRa. Looks like QXC going to try and poke in here. This is a lot of cannons, though. I don't think this is going to work well for QXC. Gets one cannon, but at the cost of way too much. Lost, I think, 2 Marauders there. Some Blink Stalkers coming back into position, and the army of DuckloadRa just looking so large compared to QXC's now. QXC needs to get some more units going, needs to get another base. He's only mining at 1 base. This is a very precarious situation for QXC. This is looking really bad. If he does not secure this expansion very, very soon, he is in a lot of trouble. DuckloadRa in a much better position. He is mining from 3 base. Looks like he managed his resources a little bit better. And looks like QXC is going to try and land here. DuckloadRa blocking it off. QXC trying to intercept any sort of reinforcements. Going to get a bunch of free zealots here. DuckloadRa, look at his upgrades. Even at level 2, going for level 3 plasma shields. That's so hard to deal with. QXC, though, maxed upgrades as well. And a big Stalker blink coming into the main, going to start picking off the production. This is so annoying to deal with. QXC already behind in the food count, and is going to get even farther behind when he cannot reinforce his units. Bunch of workers trying to long distance mine. Zealots and Colossus intercepting. And now, looks like we are going to see DuckloadRa try and take out this planetary fortress. QXC scrambling to defend. Does not repair enough. Storm going off. Not the best of storms. And looks like QXC going to clean up this force. But in the meantime, lots of Stalkers continuing to warp in there. But Stalkers are not really the most scary unit. If he gets off a good EMP and uses this Marauder Ball correctly, I think he might be able to clean this up. However, he has taken a lot of damage in his main. We'll have to see how QXC responds. Bunch of Stalkers coming around to harass the last mining base of QXC, as well as a Colossus. QXC going to be completely out of position. However, he needs to deal with this threat in the main first, and trying his best to intercept the Stalkers. He wants to have a pitch battle here, I think. And getting a couple kills, but they are blinking away. The Colossus over here, though, sitting in a great position, killing lots of workers. And after losing those guys, QXC realizes this is just too far of a deficit for him to overcome, and does tap out. But what a great game between these two players. Always a treat to watch QXC and DuckloadRa, or DuckloadRa, Grandpa Toss. So, wow, what a game. Really, this game basically came down to DuckloadRa just kind of denying this expansion for long enough to basically put QXC down to 1 mining base. And once he was at 1 mining base, he just could not compete with DuckloadRa any longer, and that just allowed him to win the game. Also, I mean, he did have great harass over here as well with some Stalkers, and it was just the harassment, man. That's what it was all about. So I hope you guys did enjoy that game. I did quite thoroughly. Always, like I said, always a treat to watch these guys play. And yeah, with that, well, maybe I'll wait a little bit. Don't want to spoil the videos. I always like to add just a little bit of time. I guess I can say, follow me on Twitter at Siraz TV. Also, I'm going to be streaming my StarCraft. So if you want to see me play, or want to come challenge me, take me on in a game, or want to, I don't know, ask me any questions, whatever. Tell me I suck at casting. Tell me I'm awesome at casting. Tell me I suck at playing. Tell me I'm awesome at playing. Chances are, probably suck at playing because I'm really not that good. But yeah, come check me out. My stream is justin.tv/SirazTV. I can stream pretty well. 720p. That's pretty good. Looks pretty good. Sound, pretty good, I guess. I don't know. I use the same stuff. So, trying to think if there's anything else. There's an awesome article on StarCraft Legacy, www.sclegacy.com, that I just read, and it was kind of about the development of StarCraft 2, and it's really cool. I highly recommend you check that out. Guess I could even put a link in the comments or in the information section for it. It's basically about like the whole development, like of StarCraft 2, about all the units that were going to be in the game, which ones got cut, which ones got changed. All that stuff is really, really good read. So check that out. Trying to think if there's anything else. Nothing that I can think of, so I think that will be it for today. Hope you guys did enjoy, and Siraz saying see you later.